What's up, everyone? Just getting ready to do some weekly maintenance. And I was like, man, it's a good time to grab the camera, show some people what we do. Now here we like to try to keep it as simple and cheap as possible. You do not need to spend $1 million to do this. So with that being said, we pretty much don't dose anything yet. Right now, these water towers are full of a kalkwasser solution. Trash can's full too. And that pretty much takes care of all of our element consumption. Now occasionally we don't have to, but we like to dose some iron, some iodine, and some potassium. Now in the first year of your tank, I would suggest do not do any of these. And we also test for them before we put them in. But we think these help the corals tease out that last bit of coloration and happiness. Makes them a little puffier. And we also, once a week, dose some Petco phytoplankton. Now it gets down to 1 micron in size. So during the week, your average reef foods, a lot of your corals can't eat them. Their mouths are too small. So once a week, we feed them the phytoplankton, and hopefully that takes care of everything we missed. As you see, they need clean. Glass is all dirty. Now our maintenance schedule is very simple. Once a week, well, let me come over here. Once a week, we change the filter flaws in these two aquariums. They're standalone. The first one's quarantined. And we change the carbon in every system about once to twice a month, depending on water clarity. And we will do small water changes once to every other week, depending on how much detritus is in the bottom of the aquariums, or if there's any other cleaning issues we've got to take care of. This chalice is growing a bubble. I'll pull it out later, after we clean. But yeah, pretty much other than small water changes, all the filter socks. This system, after about 1.5 years, we took the filter socks off, mainly because it is now breeding flower anemones, and we were pulling them out with the filter socks. Yes, in 2 years, this tank's breeding flower anemones. They're everywhere. But this tank here, this system's the newest one, so we change the filter socks normally twice a week. But we literally just throw them in the washing machine with no detergent, put it on extra rinse, let them dry out, put them back on. Very simple. But the whole purpose of today's video is this aquarium. This one's been going through some growing pains. It's the only system that's not just rocking away right now. But that's as expected, it's new. I believe all the dino issues are finally out of the way. You can see there's still some dinos floating around, some algae crusted in dinos. So today we're gonna get in here with our fingers and some toothbrushes, and we are gonna scrub everything. Frag racks, frag plugs, growth edges, rocks, pumps, everything. Don't let anybody tell you that you gotta remove stuff to clean algae off of it. That's ridiculous. If you have algae in your tank, you already have trillions of microscopic pieces of algae and algae spores everywhere in your system. It's already growing where it wants to. So at this point, we just gotta knock it back a little to give our herbivores a chance to take over. Herbivores are key. There's a long-spined sea urchin, there's a tiny little blue tuxedo, there's a million snails. I'm not big on tangs and surgeonfish in your aquarium. Fish that get large are not meant for small systems. Even if I had a 200-gallon tank, I do not think I would put one of these fish in there. They're big, strong, muscular fish. They're made to swim. They're not made to stay in a box. They're made to swim miles and miles and miles, hundreds of miles a day. So that being said, I mainly use urchins and snails and hermit crabs. But not everything we can scrub. Like these zoas here. They're pretty much dying. No matter how many times I scrub these, and I do, the algae comes right back. Only ones that are clean are the ones with snails on it there. So, what I'm gonna do in this situation, I mean, on a long enough timeline, this algae will go away. But before we get there, the dinos and algae on it would kill them. So we're gonna take them out. We're gonna give them a peroxide dip, which is very short. I only do 30 seconds to a minute maximum. This is sketchy. You can kill your zoas. If the polyp is open at all, the zoa will die. The polyp has to be closed as tightly as possible before you put them in the peroxide. Then when you're done, you rinse them off, put them back in the aquarium, and they will still look dirty. It'll take 1 to 2 days, and they just magically get clean. It'll be the cleanest frag in your whole tank. Now, if you did it correctly, the zoa should live. But there's still that 1 out of 10 chance that it might die. Just throwing that out there. So this is kind of for extreme cases only. Like these zoas are gonna die. So we have to do it. See, this system is connected to that one. I mean, these are all closed because the light's normally not on. But these zoas are fairly clean, and it's the same system. So, on a long enough timeline, the other ones would be clean too. It's just, I don't think they'll make it that long. While I'm down here, this chalice on the left side is growing a bubble. Big bounce bubble. It's wild. But that being said, we're gonna get into some cleaning. We basically make a giant hurricane. I mean, this looks bad. I mean, the fish might not like it. It clears out in a couple minutes. But the corals enjoy it. I mean, not so much as scrubbing a toothbrush, but the hurricane effect. It kicks up all the bacteria and whatnot. They like that. I mean, this is replicating what naturally occurs in the reef. Every time a storm hits, I mean, so many parameters change in the ocean. So, the hurricane, it's not bad. Alright, got most of the cleaning out of the way. So before I dip the zoas, I figured I'd run through and show you what it looks like all cleaned up. Now this system's still obviously dirty. anemones are still closed up from me smacking them with a toothbrush. Oh, there's at least like 5 of them orange ones floating around though. That was pretty cool. Naked clownfish. Couple pissed off corals I found up there. I threw them down here. It's a lot cleaner down here. They'll come back. You see a couple other corals I threw down here that weren't doing good. This is a mushroom tank. This one's fun. Swam one. That goby is amazing at keeping the sand white. I never touch the sand. He makes a mess though. Yellow clown gobies. They're awesome. People think they hurt corals, but well, yeah. My corals are always happy. They like them. We keep the corals clean. This tank's fun. It was supposed to be quarantined, but a lot of my LPS love it, so they just stay in here. It's probably because it's dirty. Nitrates are always like 40, 50. That little fish is cool. Springer dottyback, I think. He's normally hanging out under the open brain. Alright, time to dip some zoas. Alright, we gathered up all of our dirty zoas. Just using regular old peroxide. It's cheap, effective. Step 1, steal a bowl from your kids. Rinse it out first. But you have to make sure that it's closed, so you won't piss them off. Some of these, I don't even know if they have a zoa left on it. Might already melted. There's really no amount of time to do this for. Just the longer you leave them, more danger of killing them. But zoas have a nice slime coat, so it really protects them good. As long as it's not open. Alright, got them back in the tank. I'll put them right in front of the wave maker. Blast them off for a little bit. Tomorrow I'll move them further away. But in a couple of days, they should be clean, and then they should slowly start opening up within a week.